Welcome to the porch of the Whiskey Granny, where the glasses are full, the stories run deep, and the company is as smooth as the pour. Here we taste, we reminisce, and we let the evening drift by without hurry, because every sip and every memory deserves its own time. Welcome to the second episode of the Whiskey Granny. Join me today on the porch with Maker's Mark. In front of me, I have my latest bottle that I brought home from Louisville after visiting Maker's Mark. I brought home Maker's Mark number 46 French Oaked Cask Strength. We are going to have a pour of that. It's batch 24-02 and its proof is 110.8. I'm going to tell you what I get on the nose and the palate, but from the side of the bottle it reads, "This rare expression is uncut, bottled at cask strength to deliver layers of caramel, almond, fig, and chocolate that reach the palate in waves. Not your typical barrel proof, it offers standout flavor and smoothness, the result of a singular French oak finishing." The second bottle is also Maker's Mark. The second bottle, I have 3 bottles by the way. This one is a limited edition series, Maker's Mark Private Selected. It was hand selected by Belmont Chalet Party Shop, or beverage, and it's called The Last Mocha. It is done with their stave profiles. This one has 2 seared French cuvee, 5 Maker's Mark 46, 3 roasted French mocha. Profiles from the wood on this one would say that from the seared French cuvee, creamy toasted caramel, almond. The Maker's Mark 46, dried fruit, baking spices, caramel. Roasted French mocha, dark chocolate, coffee, dark fruit. So we'll see how the 253, which equals up to 10 oak staves, if you didn't get that, tastes. Bottle 130 out of 252. The third bottle, also a Belmont Chalet beverage from Maker's Mark, hand-picked, private selection. It is Summer Barrel, they call it. The stave profile on this is 4 baked American Pure, 3 seared French Cuvée, 1 Maker's Mark 46, 2 roasted French Mediant, and that equals 10. So this one has a proof of 109.7, and its date August 2023. I forgot to tell you the second bottle, what its proof is, and it's 111.6. So my lineup is the Maker's number 46, Maker's Mark Private Selection, the Last Mocha, and then Belmont Chalet Summer Barrel Stave Profile of August 2023. Do not have a date statement on the one called the Last Mocha. The proofs, again, on the 46 is 110.8. The Last Mocha is 111.6. And the Belmont Summer Barrel is 109.7. Here we go. I've got 3 wonderful smelling bourbons in front of me. And let's take a look at number 47. Does it have the caramel? Yes, it does. Does it have the almond, fig, and chocolate? I get almond. I do. I get fig on the nose. It might be there. And chocolate? Okay, chocolate comes later on the nose, but they're all there. All right, let's see what it tastes like. You know what? I can just say that that's good. Take a nice big rock back and forth and just sing with me a wonderful little lullaby, because that is something that you'd want to sip on probably in the evening. That's really nice. That is. Okay, so tasting notes. What do I get on the front, middle, and back? Let me go in for another sip. Immediately, caramel. Middle is that chocolate. And on the end, there's the fig. So in a little different order than what came on my nose. Very good pour. Very good pour. Had this with my nephew last night, these three. We had sat down and trying to figure out what my next episode was going to be on. And I'm like, dude, it's got to be these three pours. We did not do it blind. We put them in a row, just like I did. We let them set for 10-15 minutes, which I just did. You want them to get some oxygen in there. Okay, so the second one I'm putting up to my nose. We're supposed to get some good chocolate on this. But it's interesting because last evening when I tried this, I didn't really get a lot of those Maker's Mark 46 French oak staves in there like I do on just this Maker's Mark 46, right? On the nose it's sweet. Quite sweet on the nose. So that would come from the seared French cuvee, I would imagine. Okay, on the tongue. Creamy, immediately. Nice, delicate. It has amazing mouthfeel. I am happy with store picks, and that's kind of what I'm going after. Now I know nobody or hardly anybody maybe listening to this podcast has a Belmont beverage or a chalet party shop. So if you're in northern Indiana, if you're in Indiana, Belmont and Chalet have some awesome store picks. I've had store picks in other brands. A matter of fact, I have a Knob Creek that I'm going to put up against the Knob Creek that I got at Jim Beam that has my thumbprint on the top of the bottle. Back to this last mocha. On the nose, it's just precious. This time I got just a tiny bit of mint on the nose for another taste. Oh. It's sweet. It's creamy. And then, bam! Middle, back palate just leaves you with that mocha flavor. It's delicious. I don't know how else to explain it. I hope it's not the last mocha. Haha. Meaning that the title is called The Last Mocha. Okay, anyway, so maybe the Whiskey Granny can't pull jokes off like other people or puns or whatever, but give me a little bit more bourbon and I might finally get there, but who knows? Okay, the last bottle in this lineup is the Belmont Chalet Summer Barrel. It's 109.7 proof. Its date is August 2023, so it's been sitting on their shelf for a couple of years. It's sad to know that because, again, they've got some good private selections. I just opened this one last evening with my nephew. The 46 has been open and I've been drinking that. The last mocha has been open. I've been drinking out of that. But I hadn't opened this Summer Barrel private selection. Well, let's get into the nose. It's bright and fruity, sweet, creamy. I can already, talk about those salivation glands going, when you got something that smells delicious in your nose. Is almost a buttered popcorn with that sweetness. Oh, you know what? It's kind of like having a strawberry shortcake with whipped cream on top. Let's get into the taste of it. Whoa, where'd the cinnamon come from? Baking spices. And get that on the nose. Again, this is delicious. I have to admit that the standard Maker's Mark, I won't buy a bottle. I've tasted it. I won't buy a bottle. I've tasted it. I'm not a fan of it. But their finished barrels, I can't rave enough about them. They're delicious. Maker's Mark Private Selection Summer Barrel, just grab me those berries, grab me some shortcake and whipped cream, and put some bourbon in it, and this is what you got. This is delicious. For the Whiskey Granny, I have my wonderful 3 pours in front of me that I am so much enjoying. Let's go back to Maker's 46, Cask Strength at 110.8, the 46 French Oaked. Okay, caramel on the nose. I always have to go back, nose them again, and take a nice sip. You know what? It's. I will admit, it's hard to sit here on my own, doing a podcast solo, enjoying some sips. If anybody out there knows a way to really have a guest on a show, I'm a newbie, okay? So if you're willing to try and connect with me to do an interview or to do some sips together, I would really appreciate that. I'm newbie, like I said, and I'm just an old whiskey granny. But I want to be able to say to those out there, to the women out there, you know what? We have wonderful palates, we have wonderful noses, and bourbon and whiskey have so many unique flavors to them, which brings me to the answer I received from one of the listeners regarding the question I'd asked on the episode 1. His answer was very much like what my answer would be, and that is, it's the wood. The different places that the wood has grown, the different places the wood has sat outside in the weather. Then with the making of the barrel, the same staves could be from the same lot possibly, but in a different area of the lot. He writes this: the wood impacts the flavor significantly, sometimes where it's aged, but each part of the tree is different and the placement in the aging stack is different, each imparting the flavor in the barrel. Exactly. So those barrels that sit side by side that can taste so differently, and yet the makers can combine these barrels and give us a flavor that's all their own in blending these barrels and giving us a relatively consistent flavor in their bottles is just amazing to me. Kudos to master distillers, master blenders, master tasters, and you don't even have to be a master, okay? Be a distiller, be a blender, be a taster. And what little I had left in my, not blind, but in the tasting last evening, I put them all together I was never a distiller, and I didn't distill this stuff, ha ha ha. Anyway, hey, I blended it, I tasted it, and these three together, blended, are delicious. Yet, how can you not have a delicious blend when they're all delicious on their own? Anyway, back to 46, right? We're going to do this again. I hope you're with me with 3 in front of you, 1 in front of you, whatever, a cocktail in front of you, but women. And I'm speaking directly to women right now. Guys, you can listen to this too, because you know what? Us females have a wonderful way of letting you know that we enjoy bourbon too. We're not snobby with, those pink drinks. Let me tell you, at least this whiskey granny wants a good campfire, wants a good bourbon, and maybe even a cigar occasionally. So, 46, here we go. So Maker's Mark. I think you've hit the mark on this one, and I don't think I'm the first one to say that. And then keep doing those barrel picks. Keep getting those shops in there and offering them barrels to pick, to put on their shelves. This is amazing, distillers, brands. You got this. I mean, all right, so the next one is, again, that last mocha. We're going in. Oh, I mean, it is straight mocha. You get that sweetness, but then, boom, it is that chocolate that lingers. And, hey, you know what? This would be great around a campfire with s'mores. Those graham crackers, marshmallows, and chocolate bar. Wow. I think I have my campfire pour there, too. The whiskey granny on her porch. Just swinging away. Rocking away I like porch swings, but I like rockers, too. Whatever you got, bring it to my porch. We're here. The last one is the Summer Barrel, August 2023. It is a proof of 109.7. Yeah. I get the most baking spices off of this one. This is just beauty in a glass. If I had to rank them, this is very hard. But you can probably figure out that the one I like the most is the Summer Barrel, the Belmont Chalet Private Selection of August 2023. That's just delicious. As for the other two, they're different enough. The 46 and the Mocha, they're different enough that it's hard to pick. 46 or Mocha. Well, if I go with my heart right now, I want to be around a campfire. I get the 46 now. 5 Maker Mark, 46 in the Mocha, and the 46. Yeah, they're pretty much alike. Wow. Alright, well, I guess maybe I'm going to have to say my 109.7 Belmont Chalet Summer Barrel of August 2023 is my top pick for today. In second is going to be the limited edition series Maker's Mark Private Selection, Belmont and Chalet Shops pick called The Last Mocha at 111.6 proof. And then Maker's Mark number 46, which I think I'm going to be having as a staple in my bourbon bar. Thank you again for listening to this Whiskey Granny on this episode. And I hope you will leave a like, you will subscribe, Apple Podcasts, visit it. I'm on Spotify, and I'm on any of your most popular podcast episodes that you listen to. Give me a thumbs up, comment, rate on Apple Podcasts, and leave me a comment, question, an idea for the podcast. I would love that. And we'll see you again. on the next episode.